Welcome. If you reached this video, you have been going through a large number of exciting iterations. You traveled a theoretical and a practical road towards designing and implementing sustainable models aimed at landscape restoration. Congratulations. I'm Prof van Tulder, Professor in International Business Society Management. Maybe you remember me. I introduced this course as one in which we would be able to zoom in on a particularly wicked but also tangible societal challenge, that of landscape restoration. Now it's time to zoom out. I argued that landscape restoration is a vital part of the global agenda for sustainable development, as covered by Sustainable Development Goal 15, Life on Land. I also argued that effectively dealing with this challenge is like dealing with the canary in the coal mine. Landscape degradation is a sign of a poor treatment of most other sustainable development goals as well. Let me explain. Life on land is directly related to life below water, climate change, clean water and sanitation, and good health and well-being, as covered by other global goals. A negative approach to life on land has direct negative repercussions for the achievement of these goals. But an effective approach to life on land also creates all sorts of positive spillover effects. This is the so-called nexus challenge. Reverse the direction of landscape degradation into one of lasting landscape restoration requires a better understanding of this nexus challenge. In the preamble to the SDG agenda, the United Nations declared that, and I quote, "The interlinkages and integrated nature of the Sustainable Development Goals are of crucial importance in ensuring that the purpose of the new agenda is realized. If we realize our ambitions across the full extent of the agenda, the lives of all will be profoundly improved and our world will be transformed for the better." End of quote. The UN therefore also introduced a 5P framework, a successful operationalization of an effective business approach to landscape restoration also means that you understand and apply this framework. Let me explain. Simply put, the 5P framework acknowledges that a successful approach to any SDG requires serving 4 principles at the same time: people, planet, prosperity and peace. Without peace, no prosperity. Without prosperity, no human development. Without human development, no peace. And without human development, prosperity and peace, no resilient planet. And finally, without a resilient and stable planet, it's hard to maintain peace and prosperity. Linking them all together is the 5th P, partnering. I'm sure that you have experienced that these 5 Ps are relevant for SDG 15, and you have included them in your business model. In particular, partnering forms an essential and often underrepresented precondition for effective implementation strategies. It is thereby important to take critical questions into account like, do I have a coalition of the willing or a coalition of the needed? And how to monitor, preferably together with partners, progress in our common goals. Furthermore, how can our partnership take changing circumstances into account and be flexible to address other issues that pop up? Here we can observe that the actual litmus test of effectively addressing SDG 15 will probably only appear if we understand how it is related to the different other SDGs. That starts with the ecological SDGs, number 13 and 14, but also with SDG 6, that deals with water and sanitation, and SDG 3, that deals with personal health. That nexus, in turn, is related to the organization of food systems in value chains or in urban environments, SDGs 2, 11 and 12, which in turn is affected by the more economic and social SDGs such as poverty, education, gender and income inequality, energy and infrastructure, SDGs 1, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 and 10, which finally is related to the proper operation of institutions. Ecological degradation feeds corruption, war and other conflicts over common goods such as clean water and fertile soils. But Good institutions and effective partnering also create the conditions under which lasting effects can be realized. SDGs 16 and 17. So, the Nexus Challenge immediately requires a further understanding on how all SDGs can be linked to each other. One way of approaching this is to define more macroeconomic policies, in which economic and ecological growth strategies go hand in hand. This discourse has received a name: Inclusive Green Growth. This picture shows how all SDGs can be related, but how you make this link depends on local circumstances. Where to start? Where to invest first? The 4 returns framework that is supported by the Enable project pictures the Nexus Challenge as follows. It shows a hierarchy of interventions which are linked by partnering, SDG 17, and should result in prosperity for all. Mind you, in terms of what should come first, we still have a long way of research to go. For instance, it is increasingly clear that without inclusive income, SDG 8, and addressing poverty, SDG 1, it will be very hard to address any other ecological issue. But it has also been found that gender equality, SDG 5, when achieved, has immense positive spillover effects on all the other SDGs. Luckily, these aspects and strategic considerations are also increasingly included in concrete business models and in the corporate mission related to that. So-called inclusive business models can be considered a prerequisite for companies to address SDG 15 in the most innovative and scalable way. But we need more research to figure out how to effectively address all issues at the same time. Mind you, not theoretical research necessarily, but action research, learning by doing. Erasmus University is keen to support you in such efforts. Make it concrete and actionable. Landscape degradation therefore still remains the canary in the mine, the litmus test of relevant change. We hope that you feel comfortable enough on the basis of the gained insights in this course and in the topic of business model innovation and landscape restoration to take greater degrees of complexity into account. The booklet that I wrote provides the first stepping stone and framework for that. Thank you for your attention. Good luck with your next steps in being a force for positive change in this world.